Good afternoon, everyone. In this room just less than a year ago, when talking about the future of the Browns and their move to Brook Park, I laid out three important goals and objectives as mayor: protecting the taxpayers of the city, making sure Cleveland was not left empty-handed, and accelerating lakefront development. Well, that being said, today I'm proud to announce one of the most significant settlements in the city's history. Haslam Sports Group has agreed to contribute $100 million to the city of Cleveland. And this settlement is more than just a settlement. It's a statement about the promise and the future of our great city and our great region. This partnership with HSG will strengthen our efforts to unlock the full potential of our lakefront, and it brings critical investment to the city and moves the region forward. This deal also catalyzes transformational projects on the lakefront, as well as the world-class dome Brook Park Stadium. Now let me walk you through the contours of this historic agreement. First and foremost, HSG has committed to give the city of Cleveland a $25 million upfront payment by December 1st of this year. HSG has also agreed to demolish the stadium and prepare that site for future development on our city's lakefront once their lease ends. Beginning on January 1st of 2029, HSG will pay the city of Cleveland $5 million until 2033, totaling $25 million over 5 years. And upon termination of the lease, HSG will invest $2 million per year over the next 20 years on mutually agreed community benefits project totaling $20 million. So the initial $25 million payment, the ongoing annual contributions, and lakefront stadium demolition and site preparation together fulfill HSG's $100 million investment in our city. The city and HSG has also agreed to dismiss all pending litigation, and the city will cooperate with HSG on their upcoming move to Brook Park. And in closing, let me just say this. As we write this new chapter, I know we all have fond memories of the stadium being downtown on our lakefront. I have many of those memories, and I know our residents do as well too. But today starts a new chapter where we're going to have a world-class lakefront that we can use every single day of the year. That'll make our city, our region, and hopefully the nation soon really proud. That being said, I'll let Jimmy and Dee say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. The mayor outlined everything very well and very thoroughly and laid out where the city was a year ago, and I think he feels like he's fulfilled those goals for the city, and we're obviously very happy about that. When we embarked on the journey to Brook Park, or really just to build a new stadium or enhance our current stadium, we said we had two goals in mind. One was to take care of our fans, and the second one was to do what was best for Northeast Ohio, and we think we fulfilled those goals. And I can't tell you, after a bumpy time period, we'll just describe it as this, how excited we are to make this investment in the city of Cleveland with Mayor Bibb. And I think these dollars will be put to good use. We'll make Cleveland an even better place to live, work, and raise a family. So Dee and I and our entire sports group, the Cleveland Browns, could not be more excited about this partnership with the city of Cleveland and Mayor Bibb.
Dee?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
We got time for a few questions.
Can you talk us through how you were able to come to this agreement after months of tension and
Yeah.
litigation on the table?
Yeah, I'll chime in and I'll let Jimmy and Dee say a few words. Jimmy reached out to me a couple weeks ago after you had conversations with Secretary Duffy about our airport project and the work that the Haslams are leading with the Brook Park Dome Stadium. And I felt there was an opening there for us to figure out what's a win-win for the city and the region. And so as someone who spent over 10 years in business before I was elected mayor, the best deals get done by face-to-face conversations. And so I went over to Jimmy's house on Friday. We had 2 Cokes and we struck a deal. And I think the fight we put up was the right fight, because at the end of the day, I was elected to protect the hardworking taxpayers of this great city, but this deal shows that fight worked, and we have a win-win for the city and a win-win for the region with this deal.
Mayor, some local leaders, when they talk about the dome, they talk, the sky is falling downtown. Downtown is dead, it's gonna die. So, obviously, the Browns have made it clear that's not gonna happen. But nonetheless, what do you say to downtown business people who may not look at this as the best deal?
I'll say this is the Cleveland era. We have $4 billion of planned investment for our riverfront. We got the WNBA coming to Cleveland in 2028, about $1 billion of planned investment right now for our lakefront. And I know in this town, change is very hard. We don't like change sometimes in Cleveland. But I know one thing, since that guy was mayor, Tom Johnson, on that wall, we've had plan after plan after plan about lakefront development in this city. Finally, we have the resources, the collaboration, and the political will to make that plan a real reality, and that's my commitment to the residents of Cleveland and our businesses as well, too.
Do you expect city council to push back at all, or do you plan to accept this deal?
Well, first, I want to just thank the council president, Blaine Griffin, and many members of council who made sure that we fought and enacted the Modell Law. We tried to fight the good fight, but at the end of the day, city council had one clear mandate for the administration. Don't leave the city of Cleveland empty-handed, and this deal makes sure we are not left empty-handed.
The county executive has fought to keep the stadium in downtown Cleveland. Have you had conversations with him leading up to today's announcement, or have you received any insight from him on this decision?
I want to just appreciate and just applaud the county executive for support for the city of Cleveland. But at the end of the day, as the mayor of Cleveland, I have to protect our taxpayers, and that's why this agreement is very important for our residents today. One last question.
You had
Yes.
a lawsuit or notice filed last week saying it was dangerous to build a stadium there. How's this make it not dangerous?
We'll continue to work with the Browns, HSG, the FAA, and our leadership team at the airport to ensure that not only will we have a best-in-class dome stadium in Brook Park, but that our nearly $2 billion modernization of the airport won't be in jeopardy as well, too. Okay. They will be dismissed.
Those lawsuits will be dismissed.
Exactly.
Including the appeal of
Yes.
the decision on the engagement.
That is correct.
So
Okay.
so
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Where does this put you in terms, obviously this is a big impediment that's out of your way, but there's still a lot more work to do on this project. So where does this put you in terms of navigating obstacles on the way to the groundbreaking?
Yeah, I think we've said consistently that this is a marathon, and it's not easy, and it's complicated due to its size, the public-private partnership. I'd say this is a significant hurdle to get by. We were always confident we'd work it out one way or another. It's a significant hurdle to get by, and we're very excited. And when we shook hands with the mayor on Friday afternoon, we're excited to move forward. So I think it's a big step.
Do you have a source for the remaining $600 million in public contribution?
Well, let's break it down. Originally, we said there was going to be $1.2 billion in public monies, and right now it looks like it's going to be $900 million, $600 from the state and $300 that's generated through Brook Park, so that's $900. We have the financing in place to take care of that in the event that there's no more public money.
Are you still planning to talk to the county executive at all?
You know, I think it's a subject for a different day. Today's about today. I do think that today shows that when people work together, good things happen and you create win-win situations.
This could be a better question for the mayor. It's probably a question for both sides. Why did it take until now to get this done?
You know, sometimes deals just take a while, and I will say this, and the mayor alluded to it. Our staffs continued talking, we continued talking, so it wasn't like we weren't talking, and the timing just seemed right when we were in Washington and had a very good meeting with Secretary of Transportation, and he said, "Isn't Cleveland remodeling the airport?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, are you working with the city?" And I said, "Well, it's a little complicated." He obviously didn't know the local politics, and when we got back, I reached out to the mayor, and that's what ultimately led to us getting together Friday afternoon.
What are you hoping the money from this settlement will help the city achieve?
You know, that's really the mayor's call and how that's done, but I would hope it would help him with his goals, which are, I think his primary focus is developing the lakefront. And I think if you go back and look all the times we talked, we said that we would play a role of some type in lakefront development. And I think with this substantial financial investment in Cleveland, we're doing that.
We're talking now about like potentially $300 million more in private money than you were planning to invest in the
Right.
stadium itself.
Right.
Plus a big investment on the property around it, now $100 million settlement with Cleveland. Is there a point at which this all becomes too expensive? But I know I'm asking a billionaire.
No, we're confident we can make it work, but these are big, complicated projects, and I think if you look at it in total, it's $3.5 billion, okay, and there's $900 million in public money. So that's just slightly over 25%. The balance will come from ourselves, partners we picked for the real estate development and debt. So, I mean, I think it gets lost because of the contributions of public money, the substantial investment, and if you want to count the 100 to the city, I guess it's 3.6. So it's 25% public money, 75% private money. So we're betting big on Northeast Ohio, okay? And sometimes that gets lost in the shuffle of how much public money is being contributed.
Two more?
Is the demolition of the stadium including the 100 million?
Yes,
or the
yes,
7?
Yes.
yes.
And
Yes.
you do believe, Jim, that this project is also going to help downtown?
We do, and I know there's conflicting views and there's strong emotions on both sides, but I believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and I think the mayor said it, sometimes Cleveland struggles with that, but when you take the Bedrock project, you take the lakefront, the airport modernization in Brook Park, that's 4 huge projects that I think over a period of time will make this an even better place to live and work.
Does this agreement allow you now to move forward and collaborate with the city?
Totally.
The RTA red line, the
Totally.
infrastructure around the
Totally.
stadium? You know, I know you
Yeah.
said you're having conversations with the airport.
Yeah, listen, we both wanted to sell it for a variety of reasons, but a concrete example is what's happening at the airport. We were doing our own traffic engineering study. They were doing their own, and there was no cooperation working together. That all ended Friday afternoon. We shook hands, and we just talked about, all right, now we need to start working together because it's not in our interest to have a bad traffic situation. It's not in the airport or the city's interest. So it's in our interest to work together. And, you know, let's face it, when you come into Cleveland now and our airport needs the work, and fortunately they're going to spend a lot of money there, and then you look at that industrial wasteland, well, 5 years from now, you're going to come into a modern airport. It's going to be hooked together by great transportation, and you're going to see one of the most significant sports stadiums in the world there, all right there in that one little area. So the look of Cleveland when you first come in will be substantially different.
Yeah, and the lakefront is going to be just such an amazing asset for this area. We've never been able to access it from downtown, so it's going to be amazing.
You know, when you go through and you talk to somebody, we've gotten to know the mayor really well. He is totally committed to getting that lakefront developed and understands how important it is and thinks that now's the time.
Ricky, maybe touch on
Last one here.
With this investment for the lakefront, will you guys have a say in how it looks, or is it strictly?
No, this would be the mayor's plan,
That'll be the city's
but
call.
we care deeply about just how it looks and feels, but it is the mayor's decision. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all.